Welcome to Strategy Saturday. I'm Charles Carillo, and today we're going to be discussing what are qualified opportunity zones. Now, first off, always consult a tax professional before investing, especially in qualified opportunity zones, because everyone's situation is a little different. Now, the 2017 Tax Cuts and Jobs Act established the Qualified Opportunity Zone program to provide a tax incentive for private, long-term investment into economically distressed communities. Now, investors in these programs are given an opportunity to defer and potentially reduce tax on recognized capital gains. Tax savings are only available when investors retain the investment in a qualified opportunity fund for the time frame stated. Now, how will this help you? Well, are you facing a significant tax liability because of capital gains? It doesn't have to be just in real estate. It could be in stocks or in other form. Investing into a qualified opportunity zone fund may be a viable option for you. So what is an actual opportunity zone? Well, an opportunity zone is an economically distressed community that provides preferential tax treatment to long-term investors under federal tax rules. For an area to qualify as an opportunity zone, it must be characterized by either the following: a poverty rate of 20% or a median household income that is less than 80% of the median household income of its neighbors. Now, there are more than 8,700 certified opportunity zones right now, and they are located in every state, Washington, D.C., and 5 U.S. territories. But not all locations are rural or inner city. When you hear the economically challenged areas and stuff like this, most investors are going to refrain from looking at it and feel like, okay, that's not where I want to be investing. But a lot of these certified opportunity zones are in areas that you might be investing in anyway. So it's very important that if this is you with a lot of capital gains, a qualified opportunity fund might be something that helps you. So what are the federal tax benefits? Well, the main two benefits are, number one, there's a deferral of the capital gains reinvested into the opportunity zone until 2026. So it's payable in the beginning of 2027. And number two is the qualifying investment in the opportunity zone is held for more than 10 years. Its tax basis increases to fair market value as of the date you sell it. In other words, the qualifying investment in the opportunity zone appreciates tax-free, so there'll be no capital gains when you sell it. Now, make sure you check with your tax professional about state tax implications. I'm not going to go through them here. There's tons of different states with income taxes, but this is just on federal taxes. But what are the requirements for a qualified opportunity zone? A qualified opportunity zone must invest at least 90% of its assets into qualified opportunity zone properties, and these can be indirect or direct investments. Now, in conclusion, if you have capital gains and you're able to reinvest them, investing into a quality opportunity fund might be a great solution. To reap the full benefits, I would keep your funds invested for 10 plus years so that the gains from the fund are not taxable. And that's just a side note. That's something very important to ask the operators of the fund, because if you don't need the funds and you just like them to grow tax-free, you don't want the fund to close after 10 years. You probably want that if it's good properties that they're investing in, it's very diverse, all this kind of stuff. Geographic diversity and then property diversity, you want to probably hold it for as long as they can, 15 years, 20 years plus. I mean, the longer, it's just growing tax-free. So make sure you speak to your operator, make sure that where they think what their plans are, where they think the opportunity fund will end, where they're going to close out, where they're going to sell the properties, make sure that aligns with what you want to do with your funds. One thing that was not mentioned in my research was inflation. Now, if you're deferring taxes for several years, you're paying with dollars worth much less. Just figure out from the time you invest in the qualified opportunity zone to early 2027, what will be inflation. And you can see the additional hidden discount you're receiving that's not talked about. Now, obviously, we've had a lot of inflation here in the United States, and it's not going to probably slow down anytime in the near future. So you can see that you're going to be paying in 2027 with dollars that are worth a lot less than you would be this year. Now, where do you find a qualified opportunity zone fund? I would speak to your financial advisor, and they should be able to direct you to a firm that offers them. but going direct to the actual fund operator will dramatically reduce your fees. Now, a financial advisor of mine introduced me to a firm that connects you with an operator, and the fees were upwards of 8% to 10%, versus going direct to a fund operator that I had known for years, and the fee was 1% to 2%. So you have to make sure that you're really comparing apples to apples, and that you have the same time frame, the fees are where you want it to be, and always consult a tax professional before investing, especially in these qualified opportunity funds, because they can be very different from your typical syndication. Also, they can be very difficult from where you'd be investing in a regular property, because there's so many different nuances, and you have to be a passive investor with it. So thank you for listening. Please remember to rate, review, subscribe, and submit comments and potential show topics at globalinvestorspodcast.com. Look forward to 2 more episodes next week. See you then.
Nothing in this episode should be considered specific, personal, or professional advice. Any investment opportunities mentioned on this podcast are limited to accredited investors. Any investments will only be made with proper disclosure, subscription documentation, and are subject to all applicable laws. Please consult an appropriate tax, legal, real estate, financial, or business professional for individualized advice. Opinions of guests are their own. Information is not guaranteed. All investment strategies have the potential for profit or loss. The host is operating on behalf of Syndication Superstars, LLC exclusively.